Welcome to another episode of Rumor Mill by Vital MX. I'm your host, Michael Lindsay, and man, the title of this one, it sure seems a little clickbaity, but we're really not joking at this point. There is some weird things leading up to the outdoor championship, the 2022 Pro Motocross Championship Series for the Red Bull KTM team, due to a few factors. So before we really get into who might be on the bikes, we're talking about who's not, or at least rumored not to be. Marvin Musquin, of course, is on a Supercross-only contract, so he will not be lining up for outdoors. And then on top of that, there's a lot of talk that Cooper Webb will not line up for the championship, either for, I don't know, whether to label it personal reasons or reasons with the team or whatever it is. We'll try to get into that a little bit more. But that basically leaves the team with, right now for the full series, just Aaron Plessinger, who has returned from injury and is riding again and getting ready for that championship, but that would put them as their only full-time entry as of right now. Antonio Cairoli, of course, has committed to doing the first two rounds of the Pro Motocross Championship, but as of right now, it's just the first two. He technically retired from full-time racing last year. He's just taking on a couple fun events this year that the Red Bull KTM squad is supporting him for. Now, where it gets even weirder is who else is going to be on the bike? Because if you look at KTM's worldwide situation, it's not great this year. In MXGP, they aren't really running for any of the They aren't running for the MXGP title with Jeffrey Herlings being hurt before the season and not returning yet. Then moving Jorge Prado over to Gas, even though he's in the championship fight, he is now on the Gas brand. He's not with KTM. On the 250s this year, they were supposed to have Renee Hoffer and Tom Vialli. Sadly, of course, Renee passed away from a tragic accident during the offseason, and Tom Vialli is battling for that championship, but it is tight between him and Jago Gertz. On the U.S. side, there's no chance any regional Supercross championship. Max Vohland has not had a great season, and going into outdoors, he's a huge question mark. And then going again to the 450s, we were talking about just Aaron Plessinger. This, depending on what happens with Vialli, it could lead KTM to a very unusual situation where they may not win one of the mainstay championships, or talking about the U.S. for Pro Motocross, a chance of not even winning maybe a national or a moto this year. And that's to no disrespect to Aaron, but it is a possibility. So here's where it gets weirder again. There's a lot of talk about Jeffrey Herlings coming over. We think there's still a good possibility of that happening. It's not confirmed yet. There's still, I think, a few things that have to be figured out. He just got back on the bike. He's got to figure out if he's going to be healthy enough. Sponsorship, the team, there's a few things they got to kind of work through and figure out if that's going to be going forward. But the weird one, again, it's in the title. Is Ryan Dungey returning? He was spotted in SoCal a few weeks back doing some outdoor testing. Ryan's done this a couple times for KTM in the past since he has retired, and almost every time it's happened, it has led to him almost returning to pro racing. If you believe the behind-the-scenes rumor mill, there's been 2 or 3 attempts for Dungey to make the comeback, at least 2 that we had heard of with KTM after kind of these sprees of testing, just, whether it hits him, he really wants to do it, is really enjoying it, something. We've seen that he's been, like I said, out here doing a lot of testing with the team, and even the bit he's been home, the couple of little social things he's posted, he's been riding rough sand tracks, he's been going for it, and now there's some whispers, some talk that Dungey might take a swing at this. He may line up for the entire 2022 Pro Motocross Championship Series. If you put, like I said, connect all those puzzle pieces, we think there's actually a strong chance this could happen. Even crazier if it is, due to the timelines we're talking about, we think there might be an imminent, announcement soon between him or Herlings, one of the two. So we wouldn't be surprised if in the next, I don't know if it's couple weeks. I mean, we're getting close to the championship. It's got to be coming, but that we would see some sort of news about it. And what's even crazier is it could possibly be both of them. This feels a little bit more about this awkwardness that Dungey might be coming back, or shouldn't call it awkward, it's just this pure surprise and shock. But there is still the possibility of Herlings, which would set up one of the most interesting storylines we've ever seen for a race series. You have Eli Tomac, who's rejuvenated, Jason Anderson, who's racing probably the best he ever has in his career since his switch to Kawasaki. Ken Roczen is coming in and signed up for the full series after taking a bit of sabbatical during Supercross. Sexton is clearly riding well at the moment. And then over at KTM, you would possibly have a 9-time AMA champion lining up in Ryan Dungey, a 9-time world champion in Cairoli in a few races, maybe the Bullet Jeffrey Herlings lining up for the full series as well. It's a really, really interesting storyline. Malcolm Stewart returns to the Outdoor Nationals after years of not doing the series. It all comes together for just, again, a great storyline, a great possibility. And then not to be left out, of course, is Dylan Ferrandis coming back to try to defend that number 1 plate. All in all, we think we'll see a lot play out over just the next week or two. Again, this is rumor mill. These are just things we hear. But again, if we talk about some of these things we hear, we don't think it's completely out of the possibility of actually coming true. And in this case, we think this would probably be the biggest racing shocking news that has happened inside the sport in many, many years. And we're going to personally cross our fingers that we get to see Herlings, the Dunge, and all these guys line up and give us what would be one amazing run for what's going to be the 50th anniversary of AMA Pro Motocross. If you like this feature, you like the rumor mills, us just sharing the whispers of the sport, stuff that could become official, couldn't. It's just stuff that's out there. Give us the thumbs up, the like, the subscribe, throw down in the comments section what you think. And we're really curious what you think about this. Do you think this is complete fluff? Could you see it happening? What are your thoughts on all the possibility of these guys that might be lining up this summer? Thanks for watching.